The Erie Roman Catholic Diocese last night laid out restructuring plan for its parishes and could have some significant effects in our region. Our Ethan Kibbe is joining us now with a breakdown. So what does this mean for our region?
This is a big change. Now, it's important to note this is a preliminary plan. They'll take feedback, the diocese will consider that, and then come up with a formal plan to start implementing, probably be in place by next summer. But what you're going to see, some churches are going to lose Sunday masses entirely. Others that were standalone parishes are going to be merged into larger parishes. They'll share priests, they'll share resources. Bottom line, and data shows this, about 45% dip in attendance. 45%.
That's a lot.
Over the last 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
That's a huge dip. Plus, as we know, and this is an ongoing issue, there's a shortage of priests. So if you don't have the people you once had and you don't have the priests, it's pretty hard to maintain the status quo, and it's starting to really hit home in Erie County. Some of the big changes, St. Andrews, it appears, is going to lose its Sunday masses. So is St. Paul's. So is Mount Calvary Parish. Our Lady of Fatima, out closer to where you are in the eastern part of the county, seeming to be losing Sunday masses. I'm talking with the bishop at 2:30 this afternoon. I'll have a firmer look at this by the evening shows, 5:36, but big changes.
Yeah, so when you say, there are a couple terms here, secondary parishes, losing masses, break that down. What exactly does that mean?
Sure. So you'll hear the term secondary mission church, and that's an important distinction. Secondary mission church. A mission church is kind of the subordinate church to the main parish church, but it will still have Sunday masses. Then you just have a secondary church. Not a mission church, just a secondary church. Secondary church still open for funerals, for weddings, for feast day celebrations, but no regular Sunday masses. That's the big change, and it's affecting some churches in our area. This is something that's been happening in the rural parts of the diocese for decades.
Right.
But now it's starting to hit the city. Folks who are used to walking to Mass are having a lot of options. Those are going to get trimmed because there's no more cutting that can be done in the rural areas. It's going to hit the city.
For about the past 4 years or so, my home parish in Union City has been merged, as you want to say, with St. Thomas. We've shared a priest. And so it doesn't sound like in those situations that a lot will change, maybe one less Mass.
Right. In ones where that's already been the case. That what this really is addressing the Erie County aspect of it, because there are other changes throughout the diocese. But the Erie County aspect, really there's a lot of change in the city where there's a lot of churches. A lot of them fairly close to one another, and the diocese is looking at that and saying, well, we don't have the priests and we don't have the people. Why have two churches less than a mile apart?
Right, exactly.
And so, I mean, you know it being from a more, and I really grew up in a rural area. This has been reality for my entire life.
For a long time.
But it hasn't been for folks in the city.
Right.
Now it's going to be.
Yeah, very interesting. And you'll have more coming up today
at 5. We'll have a full breakdown, 5:36, and we'll post it to our website, because I'm sure everyone's wondering, what about my church?
My parish, how's mine affected? Yeah.
Right. That's what we'll explain, because that's what everyone's going to look at. My parish. Remember, Catholic, big C, Catholic, little c, universal church.
Right.
The whole point is you're supposed to be able to go to any Catholic church.
Any of them, sure.
Mass
but, you know, convenience is key, especially for older people who, you know, might not be as mobile. But as you said, you are talking with the bishop today.
2:30 today, and we'll let him explain more about this because he knows a lot more about it than either of us.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Ethan, for that update. That's big news in our region for sure.